Oh, is it doing that?
It's the wrong camera. Let me see if I can switch it. Hey, everybody.
I mean, who cares? Does it matter?
I mean, it's kind of a weird angle, don't you think? Right before we went live, I dropped a light that had a magnet on the back of it across my computer, and everything freaked out and shut down.
Blackout.
So I'm gonna see if I might be able to switch the camera around here. But this might be the angle, unless, let's see.
I can't see all the words. The chat's kind of covered up by another window right now, but Kittery. Is that how you say it? I don't know. It's not too late to add a suggestion. What you want? I got room right here on my paper. What you want?
Can y'all hear us
Kittery?
okay?
The thumbnail image is a pair of Wi-Fi.
Okay, great.
I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
Okay, cool. This might just be our angle for today because I'm afraid that if I restart the live stream, you all know how that goes. But if you can hear us, hell, it's a podcast. Hey everybody, and look, you can see the illusion that is our backdrop.
Greatest moment of the high stream. Greatest moment of my life.
Truly. I'll just give it a little of that. You want to scoot this way, Hal? Hey everybody. Thanks so much for checking in on us. It's been a time. We're here in LA. It's raining today, which is amazing. Maybe the first little glimmer of hope that we've had in terms of natural occurrences lately, and we're doing okay.
Lay down, baby.
Sister's gonna start barking here in a minute because that's when we start a live stream. That's what always happens. If you're just coming into the live stream for the first time, hey, we're Mega. We do an improvised satire of a mega church, and we're gonna use your suggestions to improvise an episode. It's gonna be at a weird angle today, but you're just gonna have to live with it. If you have a suggestion and you're a Patreon member, you can always stick that in the Patreon chat. And if you are not a Patreon member, then we will also try to entertain those at random in the chat, but it might be better if you stick it in the Patreon. Of course, Patreon is the best way to support the podcast, in addition to just sharing it with your friends. Holly, your face is cut off, so I'm just going to do this as best as I can. There we go. Everybody wants to see you. Anyway, you're the cute one.
Oh, man. Thanks.
Good Lord. Okay. So do you want to take us through some of the suggestions we got?
Well, I don't know if they're on here, but Krasmalax pickleball. That's not a bad idea. Let me write this down. Thanks, Kristen. How you doing, Kristen? Is it still cold as ass up there?
I think we have. Is someone? Oh, is our friend from China or living in China in here?
Hello from Shanghai.
Shiru. Oh my gosh.
Paris.
What time is it in China? 3:30. Oh wow. Special shout out to anyone who's in China waking up to listen to the live stream. That's really cool. Amazing.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if they're on here, but Annunziata from the chat was talking about how like it feels hard to imagine even laughing about anything right now. And
why?
And my God, I mean, not to like pile on.
Mhm.
Not to trauma dump on you, but I mean, my God, I went from like going home for the holidays, which I haven't done in years, and I do believe it took a decade off my life. So, from that to the fires, to the inauguration, to today, it's just too much.
Yeah.
It's, I have had trouble, like, lifting my chin up off of my chest all week long. So, but like we were saying earlier in the, Instagram Live, I think there's something about the rain this morning that made me cry such hot, salty tears of hope. And so there was a request for maybe for us to just be ourselves and do like a mega mini. But I don't know. I feel like if we improvise and we do Hallie and Gray, we might be able to fight off the Sunday sads and maybe pull that chin up off the old chest.
That's right.
I don't know. So I just want to commiserate with you if you are having a really hard time coping, because I am too. And
Yeah,
yeah.
we talked about this in a mega mini recently, but Holly did have to evacuate during the fires because of the Sunset Fire, which was close to our place. I was conveniently out of town, so I let her do all the trauma responding, and I just got to stress out over by watching the fire app. But it was a lot, and it was. I mean, you can talk about your experience evacuating, but I think in general, it's been kind of unnerving time. I know a lot of people that lost their places. We know a lot of friends who lost their places, and some of our favorite places got burned up. A place that we spent a lot of time during the pandemic, this canyon up in Altadena called Millard Canyon, got really scorched, and so it's been it's been a really destabilizing time. A lot of people are talking about leaving LA or how long it will take to recover. It's, the business is really tough right now. So, and by the business, I mean the show business. So we've had a lot of Holly's been in kind of freeze mode. She keeps saying, and I've been in flight mode where I'm just like, we got to get out of here. But that kind of calmed down, I think, maybe today with the rain. Um,
Although a friend of mine was like, don't drink your water now.
I
And
know.
I'm like, well, we're checking, because they say like the municipal water, like, I don't know what it's called. We're supposed to be checking in because if we get a no drink and no boil alert, it also means we can't shower or bathe in it. If that happens,
I don't shower or bathe anyway.
where do we shower or bathe? We just don't. Like, how do you do that if you can't put your body in the water?
Mhm.
It's
Baths are an integral part of Holly's life, so I don't know what happens if you can't take a bath.
moist towelette. That's what I was thinking, Virginia. I don't, man, but
Moist Towelette is actually a really good band name, like a punk band name, don't you think?
Greg just started a band with his friend Todd, and they're looking for a band name. Right now they're going by
It won't be Moist Towelette, and it won't be Bitchcoin. That's our joke name.
right now they're going by Bitchcoin, which I really like. Why can't it be Bitchcoin?
Because it's not Bitchcoin music.
Oh.
If that makes sense.
Poland Spring, just dump a Poland Spring over my head.
Then you get the plastic from the microplastic. Then you're bathing in more microplastic.
We're just so fucked. We're so fucked. It's so fucked.
The music is kind of, I would say somewhere in between Vampire Weekend and Pup, if you know the band Pup. It's kind of like punk,
I like that
pop,
sound.
fun music. It sounds kind of 90s.
Ooh, well, we want to hear your lyrics and hear what's going on in your
Right
head.
now,
Yeah, what are the songs about so far?
I'm not talking about the songs. You can decide what the songs are about when you hear the songs. I don't want to talk about the meaning of the songs. Actually, we haven't really written. I mean, we have like 3 half songs. So I can't. I don't know what they're about.
So you start with licks and then you get to lyrics?
From licks to lyrics, the Bitcoin
The Bitcoin story.
story.
One of you twin hillers had a post this week that said our grandparents fought the fascists just so our parents could reelect them, the Gen X story. And I was like, yep. Yep. So one thing though, man, what are y'all doing about the fucking social media thing? Cause like basically everything I'm realizing is that I think I have to get off it like forever because all it does is like fill my body with cortisol and what feels like just like acid where my body starts eating itself. And my friend Chelsea Devontas told me that her therapist said that when you take in information via video, it's like extremely hard on your nervous system, but taking in information through the written word is a little bit easier on you. So I'm trying to do that. Yeah, Blue Sky. I got on Blue Sky too. Annunciata.
I
There you are. I got on Blue Sky too,
Mastodon.
but I don't know how.
I guess I
Oh,
have a
I have to figure it
general
out.
question about the larger picture of what I want to get from these platforms. And I'm not sure if I've answered that yet. And I generally liked Instagram, but I think for people in our line of work, like it's always good to be able to let people know what you're doing, since that's what that's how ostensibly you pay the bills. I don't know how, but it is good for promoting a show or something like that. But I guess I'm trying to understand how to spend more time in the non-online world. Um, and
Yeah.
actually, I would kind of consider this like somewhere in between online and non-online, because at least we're interacting with real people who have chosen to be here and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
who, we know y'all.
Hmm.
I think, well, I'll give you an example. I think when I really lost some hope in humanity, but I gained it back a day later. But was when during the fires, I was in New York working, and the fire started really going, and I was watching local ABC Channel 7 or whatever, LA news on YouTube, and then the YouTube chat was going, and I, for some reason, watched the chat for 17 seconds, and it just made me want to die. It was so it was just people cheering the burning down of LA, and like all the internet troll stuff that you figure would happen in a time like that. But it just made me I think I was staring into the dark uh abyss of the
That's
not
rough.
dissimilar to this chat and how you all are, um, you know, just absolutely trolling us all the time. But so it really, it was really upsetting. And of course, it was an upsetting time. But then to come back and see how LA is really behaving like a community and not a disparate city of strangers, and how much money has been raised, and how people have really gone out of their way to look out for one another and donate stuff. But ooh, it gave me the chills about existing sort of in those online spaces when they're not, for lack of a better word, safe spaces, or just respectful spaces. I don't have to agree with everyone. It just felt so dark. So I'm trying to figure out what it means to be online right now, and one thing that I'll pass one suggestion that I'll pass on that has really helped me is, I've really I've really been digging hanging out with people IRL, but, I've been listening to Doug Rushkoff a lot, and he has a great podcast called Team Human, and I love it because it's, like, somewhere in between, uh, esoterica and, you know, cool stuff like media theory and things like that, but it really leans in on what it means to be human and what it means to have connection and kind of living in the in between. And I think y'all would like it. It's a great podcast. Um,
I can't believe you haven't pushed the telepathy tapes yet.
Oh, Telepathy Tapes, also really cool podcast, really great.
Amazing podcast. It also just chafes my hide so much that every time I get on Instagram, I make Zucker fuck richer. Like I
Yeah.
just like fuck that piece of fuck. Ugh. So I don't know.
I think one
I'll bring the
everyone's
moist
like
up.
we're saying things. Mastodon is a good band name, and I think it's a good band. Mastodon, yeah, that's
It's
a
already
metal
there.
band, yeah.
That is a good name.
So, oh boy, Live Journal and GeoCities. It's so true. Actually, Chanel, Doug Rushkoff talks a lot about that because he was kind of like an early internet pioneer and knew all the early internet, kind of weirdos that were saying that the internet was going to be this almost, I think they had this utopian view of a sort of psychedelic internet where strange communities of creative people get to finally connect and all those things. It does remind me of the early days of cool blogs and things
Yeah.
like that.
I don't want to make Bezos richer either. How do we? I've looked at the Amazon alternatives and I think really the best alternative is moving to a small village in France and getting everything each day with a small basket that you carry on your elbow and put on the back of your little bicycle and take home to your tiny apartment that has just a half refrigerator.
I went to the farmer's market today, and actually that felt like, again, like, oh, I'm going to get food from the people who grew it. And
And they
it
had
made me
eggs.
so happy. And they had eggs.
Like, do you all not have eggs in your grocery stores? Like, because we don't have eggs anymore because the guy, you know how the Trader Joe's cashiers talk to you?
I want to come to France. I keep saying I want to come to France. Sorry, I interrupted you.
I want to come to France too. I want there to be a baguette sticking out of my everything forever.
But
sticking out of my ass. I want to walk around with a baguette in my ass. The guy at Trader Joe's the other day when I was checking out, he was like, "Did you find everything okay?" And I was like,
do you got
"Well,"
health insurance in here?
I'm like, "What do you got?" But he opens up his jacket.
Yeah.
And he's, um, I forgot what I was talking about. I can't interrupt a neurodivergent.
Sorry, you went to Trader Joe's.
Oh
We were
yeah, and the
talking.
guy was like, "Did you find everything?" And I was like, "Well, no, there's not eggs." And he was like, "Oh, do you know why there's no eggs? They're killing all the chickens." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, those poor chickens."
Um,
We pulled out of the World Health Organization just in time for bird flu to take 50%
Don't
of the
bring it back
human
down.
population. Sorry.
But anyway, we hope everyone's doing as well as they can do, and we appreciate you being here to hang out, do some bits with us, and
Virginia, you
make an episode.
canceled Amazon.
Very cool.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. I'm standing up on my desk and saluting you.
Here's the big problem.
Fuck.
I don't want to go to Costco.
I'm never going to Costco again as long as I live. I've sworn it off. I don't care.
Even though apparently they're
I'm never going
socially responsible with anyway, I'm longing for the day when I can go to well, we just got back from Italy, and this was like one of my favorite things. It's just like you go to the cheese store for your cheese, and you go to the meat store for your meat, and you go to the small little shop for eggs and milk and butter and stuff. I just really enjoyed it. It was great.
And then you end up talking to human beings and
Oh yeah. Oh, can you order from Costco by delivery? Oh, that's good to know. Maybe you'll never have to go get glasses there again. You can just order them.
yeah, man, don't spend money.
Okay.
I know.
Um,
I know. Like I resent that they see us as consumers, as these little consuming like bugs that just stimulate the economy.
I've been spending my mornings waking up and reading Wendell Berry, which is a good, also sad, but good sad to sort of connect with someone who was talking about all these things years ago and not to sound not to be like, "Oh, it's so nice to hang out with the prophet when the prophet's right," because a lot of times it's not good when the prophet's right. Most of the time, actually. Um, but it's nice to be in a different pace of reading someone who has really spent time talking about these bigger structural issues that seemingly are crushing us all right now, both emotionally and literally.
I noticed I'm reading a book right now that so you know how we were dear friends with Louis Anderson before he died during the pandemic, and we spent a lot of time together during the pandemic, writing out that
Some would call it the big, the big quiet, the big fun time for some, the big quiet for others.
he would always be like lying on his side in bed with his phone like propped up on something and be like, "What are you doing?" And since his death, the other day I was like down in our little storage space and I found his book that I had ordered called Hey Mom. And I remember when he was still alive, I listened to him talking to Terry Gross about his book Hey Mom that he wrote while he was starring in Baskets. And he had, I think in his 30s, he had written a book called Dear Dad that was just letters. Every chapter of the book is a letter to his dad, who was an alcoholic and who was passed away. And Louis was just like writing his father, who is now passed. He wrote him a bunch of letters and then published it as a book. And a lot of it was just like, why? Like, why did you drink so much? And him just trying to find answers posthumously, or however you say that. And how do you say that?
Posthumously.
And so I read Hey Mom first, which he wrote in his 60s, and then I read Dear Dad that he wrote in his 30s. And in Dear Dad, he went back to this little town where his dad was from because he was trying to learn about his dad.
Was his dad born in Europe or no?
I can't remember what state he was born in.
Okay.
Fayette. Anyway, the thing that happened to his dad is that when his dad, I think, was 12 years old, he had a sister. His mom and his dad took him and his sister to the local church and like put them up on the
Adoption stand?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Put them up on the stage at the church and was like, "Does anyone want these children?" And people from the community took the daughter and then took Louis' dad. And Louis' dad was given to this family that already had kids, and they continued to treat their kids as family members. And they treated Louis' dad as basically like a farmhand and just a worker. And they made him work constantly on their land. And like he had to sit separately in meals, and they like wouldn't give him as much food and stuff. It was just like, and then his dad became a real bad alcoholic, and
also a famous jazz trumpet player.
And he was playing with
clarinet player, famous jazz.
He was playing with
Benny Goodman.
Right? Yeah, he was playing with Benny Goodman, trumpet, and like touring, and met Louis' mom. Anyway, but and Louis had 10 brothers and sisters. They had 11 kids, and Louis was number 10. Anyway, as why am I talking about this? Because Louis was trying to find out more about his dad's life, because he didn't really know. His dad never told him anything before the war, because basically he lived with this family that took him when he was 12, and he was with them for I don't know however many years, but then he lied about his age and entered the military early to get away from this family. So then he went to war as like a really young teenager. He was still a kid, went to war anyway, and Louis never knew anything about his life before the war. And so he went and found his dad's hometown, and he went to this museum in the town, and these record keepers or whatever, and he was going through all the newspapers from the first like decade of his dad's life from his hometown, and he was talking about everything that was in those newspapers, and it was all the exact same stuff, exact same news stuff that we're saying today.
Oh, about like the fascists and stuff?
Everything, about everything, like all the problems
Yeah.
and the things that people were scared of was all the exact same headlines that we're doing now. And
Yeah.
when Louis was writing about it, I was just like, this is what I'm reading every day. Like, has it just
Yeah.
always been the exact same? It's like
Sort
that
of echoes
Song
in
of
different
Solomon
ways.
thing. Yeah.
The other interesting thing, this is a little non sequitur, but about Louis, is that his brother was in the mafia. And this is his oldest brother or next oldest brother. And so there was always some current of organized crime happening.
His brother was a bank robber, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think he was into just organized crime in
He was a
Minnesota.
safe cracker, and he got Louis into crime too, which I didn't realize. Louis dropped out of high school and started stealing snowmobiles.
Yeah,
because people would, in Minnesota, people would drive their snowmobile in the harsh, lots of snowy winters. They would drive their snowmobile to the bar and leave their snowmobile running outside while they drank in the bar to keep it warm or whatever. And so Louis and them would go in and steal all the snowmobiles and then like and then sell the hot mobiles.
But then this isn't in the book, but this came up in a podcast that I cannot remember. It might have been You Must Remember This or some Hollywood podcast, but that there were 2 pairs of ruby slippers from Wizard of Oz. One of those pairs of ruby slippers was stolen, and it was traced back to Louis's brother, and no one ever ratted him out. But basically, they were like, Louis. I don't think Louis ever said, yeah, he took them. But at one point, the FBI showed up looking for the ruby slippers and turned their whole house upside down. And I was just like, wow, what a strange Hollywood thread that Louis Anderson's brother probably stole one of the pairs of ruby slippers. Air quality.
That's so. Also, because of the telepathy tapes, I've been doing this thing with Louis. Sometimes when I'm having my nightly bath, because I think of my body as a hard piece of spaghetti right out of the box, and every night I have to boil myself in hot water to soften this shit up. But I've been, because of the telepathy tapes, I've been like, well, honestly, ever since Louis died and visited you the night of his death to say goodbye, I've been trying to like talk to him or like hear him or be like, can I hear him? And sometimes I hear him so clearly. He'll be like, yes, it's me. And I'll be like, how do I know these aren't just my thoughts? And he's like, because it's me, it's me. And I'm like, can I hear you? Is this really you? Or am I like losing my mind and I'm talking to myself as if it's you? And he's like, no, it's me. And and I'm like, cool. Can you like give me jokes? Can you make me funnier? And like start feeding me jokes if I can hear you telepathically or in a shared consciousness or something. And oh my gosh, I'm jealous of your clawfoot tub. But yeah, like tell me something only Louis would know. Well, what I did was I was like, if this is Louis, make me laugh. And he did. And it was in this way where I was like, I was about to say something else, not saying obviously because of their thoughts, but I was like, I went to say like, if it is you, make me laugh. And as I was about to say how, he's like, it's me, and kept interrupting me. And it actually did make me laugh. And I was like, God, that does sound like you. And then I was like, well, if we are talking, like, what do you want me to do? And he was like, contact my sister. And I'm like, I have to contact his sister. So we have to get in touch with his nephew, and I have to get his sister's email somehow. I don't know how.
I'm sure he has it.
So, and then we're also talking about maybe making a memorial service for Louis at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, Louis was a straight up witch. I mean, we had some very interesting very interesting things with him. I mean, I of course had a would call it essentially a visitation when he died, but he was very in touch with non material, and I mean, he would know things before they happened. He would see things that then he would tell us stuff and it would come true. He
Yeah,
was
he
just
could see
very
stuff.
he was just very in touch with the immaterial, whatever that means. Some other conscious state.
Um,
Cool.
so when we start doing the AMAs for the minis, give us stuff that we can all talk about together. I want to
Yeah.
talk about what you want to talk about.
So, just to put some context around that, the Patreon is going to shift over to Supercast. I think we've told some of you about that, but it's such a
It's gonna be
better
dope.
platform for podcasters. We can give you like customized RSS feeds. You'll have the whole catalog ad free. You'll have all the minis in their own separate thing. So I hope you'll follow us over there. And I think if you're have not supported the podcast in that way, it's like going to be a great way to jump in. And I think the minis will become sort of these cool AMAs where we have a little more interaction with y'all about suggesting what we talk about.
But I'm still gonna do poetry.
Great.
I won't give that up
Well,
because I love it.
should we improvise an episode? And if you have a second and you're not subbed to the channel, go ahead and sub to the channel and give us a little thumbs up. That helps the algorithm, so I'm told. And
God bless.
we're also putting video episodes of the podcast up here, so you can go back and watch those. Recently, we had a really fun episode that was with John Mackey, and that's up. And if you want to watch that, I think you'll get a kick out of it because we broke a lot. Let's see. What do we got? What are some suggestions?
I was telling a friend of mine, Todd, your bandmate. We were talking about Mega over some drinks the other night, and I was telling him that I know in the first couple of years of Mega, it was really important to me to have it be very like multi-layered and smart, and for it to be like searing satire, and for it to be laser pointed in its authenticity of like the culture of mega churches and all of that stuff. I was like I had a like more white knuckled grip on it. And I think in the last few years, like we've become much more like just dumb and silly and who cares, and like all this shit with the world building has become so bizarre but like really delightful to me. And I've released my grip on like this has to be smart and searing and everything. And like shit like John Mackey's fingers not fitting in scissors, but him being a hair cutter and only like, and him having a menu of 5 cuts that you can pick, and the Jesus hair is called the long brown.
I don't think there's a ton of difference between where we started and where we
really
no.
It feels so different to me.
No.
Really, I feel like I let a lot more stuff slide where I would have before been like, that's not specifically mega church or whatever.
Oh yeah,
but and I think Hallie used to be smarter, and I think now I'm playing her much dumber.
Well, you can always change that. That's your fault.
I can't. She's just getting dumber. But yeah, okay, so 2 quick questions. Kittery, did you have a suggestion you wanted me to add in, babe? I can do that. Yes. Thank you, Kristen. I mean, tell me about it. And also Annunziata. Do you feel seen and heard and loved?
Yeah.
Well, and it's okay to get to the comedy?
Yeah, let's get to the comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, drop it in here.
Oh,
Kittery.
maybe I have it then, Kittery. Maybe I have it.
I think we do have one about the bishop.
Yeah, I have the bishop
Trump,
one.
Trump bishop.
Yeah.
Trump inauguration bishop.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, let's rock.
Ooh, an episode where Gray talks to pipe fitter daughter.
We have to figure out who plays Pipefitter daughter. Ever
Yeah,
Maynard.
we have met Gray, so should we meet a daughter? But how would we do that without naming her?
maybe we name her, or maybe we don't. Don't ever ask. I just say I'm here with one of Hallie's daughters. I'm gonna record this so we have it for the pod.
Okay, good, Annunciata, good, I'm glad, and I'm with you. I feel you. Woo, I feel you. Okay.
Here
You're
we go.
recording?
I'm recording.
I got your back.
Got you back.
Everyone calls me fitter. Brandy does. She fits well with Brandy. Oh, yeah, and Gray could always interrupt her and mansplain things to her, so she never gets her name out.
Yeah.
I feel like she also might be not long for the gender binary, honestly. And what would Hallie do if she couldn't say my daughters? She'd be so fucked.
She would say it anyway.
Hiya, I'm Hallie Labont, and this is Mega, coming to you from Twin Hills Community Church, where every single week we give our mega church a tiny family feel. We love introducing you to members of our church staff and people from our community, and I always find it to be, you know what, I want to redo it because I don't have to do the community because we're not having a guest on these ones. Hiya, I'm Hallie Labont, and this is Mega, coming to you from Twin Hills Community Church, where every single week we're giving our mega church a tiny family feel. And per usual, I'm joined by my co-host. He's the youth pastor for our high school ministry called Climax. Please welcome Gray Haas.
Give it up for Jesus, because he is the one who pleases us. Hallie, how are you?
You know what? I am feeling blessed. I am so blessed. Although I would be feeling a little extra blessed if I could get my hands on my handyman, Dick Epps. I've got stuff around the house that I need him to look at.
Oh,
but
Dick Epps.
He's been so busy lately.
I know. Actually, I've been using Dick Epps.
Is that
Hallie,
right?
at your suggestion, because we've had some things around Clay's place that needed fixing that have been driving me absolutely crazy. And so I called up Dick Epps, and yeah, he worked, let's see, he worked Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, and he worked on Sunday. I mean, he's basically there's so many things that need fixing. And you're right. He's tall. He's so tall.
He's very tall. And he's so cute. I mean, you wouldn't think of a man named Dick Epps being in his 30s and tall and cute.
Yeah.
You also wouldn't think of a 7-footer being cute. You would think they would either be, threatening or, handsome, or somewhere on the spectrum between those two things. But he's just a little cutie pie, and boy, can he reach stuff.
Oh, he can reach anything. I mean, some of the things that he can reach were just, things that I specifically needed, just a person that could really get in there. And what has he fixed? I guess he did fix the pocket door between the two bathrooms on the second level of Clay's place.
Well, he could probably just look right into the little track at the top of the door because his head is up there at the door frame.
That's right. So he stuck his head up in there, figured that out. He found, well, this was weird. The microwave kept kind of making a strange smell every time Popsicles put something in there. Why Popsicles is cooking his own meals is a whole other thing. But Dick Epps found an entire Japanese sweet potato lodged under the tray of the microwave that I guess kept cooking over and over. So that was good. He put in, he figured out the whole wireless internet router thing. There was someone had, I hate to name names, but I think it was Donovan Geo, had somehow hacked into our wireless internet and was streaming a bunch of stuff off of that. There was a strange squeaky noise that was happening when you walked in the foyer. He fixed that. There was definitely, we would have been asking for a new parking space, an extra parking space. So he poured some asphalt on part of Popsicles' little pickleball court there, made another parking space. What else has he done? It's just awesome stuff. He planted a bunch of mums, which, not really the season for that, but he did that. He made sure that there were, he made sure that all the icicles were taken down off the front of the house, because last year Clay was coming in and one of those fell and hit him right in the head, and put a divot the size of a golf ball in the top of his head.
Oh
So he
my.
took down all the icicles. He did that with a really interesting device that he created that kind of looks like a giant nunchuck, but it's a PVC pipe with a chain in between, and you swing the PVC pipe around, and it knocks down all the
Oh
the
wow.
icicles from the entryway.
Wow.
What else has he done? He built a crib for Popsicles, even though Popsicles doesn't sleep in a crib. He built a race car bed for Popsicles, even though he won't sleep in a race car bed. For some reason, he likes sleeping on the floor. What else has he done? Yeah, that's those are a few things that he's done.
Wow, I just had him clean my gutters and get a sticker off my laptop. Well,
Oh, he rotated the tires on Clay's car. He's going to rotate the tires on my car tomorrow.
oh wow.
He's going to do our taxes
I
this
thought
year.
only Costco could do that.
So, and by he's going to do my taxes. He's going to do Clay's
Oh,
taxes.
wow.
Yeah. What else is he going to do? Anyway, Dick
Taxes?
Epps is really
Wait, I want
he's
him to do
great.
my taxes.
He's probably going to be too busy, Hallie, because he's got
No.
a lot of stuff right now.
Great.
What?
No, I need
He
have you thought about maybe he could help you, shut Donovan Geo up? Maybe put him on that project.
Well, he did build another tier to the fence, because we had a 9-foot fence, but we couldn't really get up there. So Dick Epps came over and put another little addition onto the top of the fence, so that Donovan Geo can't do his whole peeping over the fence thing that he always does with his hands like this and his nose. He always is kind of like, doing that thing where you put just your fingers and your nose over and kind of looking around.
Wow.
So
So he must be hanging on the top of the fence. That shows a lot of upper body strength. Or, if he's just hanging by his nose,
I don't know what's going
that's
on
something
underneath.
else.
I mean, we all know
'Cause
what's
he's
going on
short.
down below, because he's wearing some Y fronts, but I don't know how he's getting up there. I don't look over his fence to see what he's up to.
Well, we've been having a polar vortex, and if that doesn't get him to put pants on, I don't know what is going to. The feels like was -13 this week, for crying out loud.
Oh, I know. And Dick Epps was out there planting mums. But these are the type of handyman jobs that you can basically I said, Dick, what is a handyman? And he was down, he was fixing something under the sink. And I just was like, Dick, what is a handyman?
What did he
And
say?
well, he said a handyman is whatever the handyman, whatever you need the handyman to do, the handyman can.
The handyman can.
Because he fixes it with love. And so the
Wow.
handyman can, and Dick Epps has really done a great job. But he's probably gonna be booked up, I don't know, probably through the spring, Allie. We've got so much that needs doing around Clay's house.
Well, you also can, I don't want to. I made a sign and I put it up in the lobby and said, if anyone needs a good handyman, Dick Epps, and I put his phone number and everything, because I wanted to get him some good work, because he's so good. But now I don't like that. I'm going to take the sign down, because I need to be able to, like, let's say I need anti-porn software put on all my family's devices.
Oh, you could do
Who can
that.
do that?
The
Dick
handyman can.
Epps. The handyman can. The handyman can. But let him know that I need to get a hold of him, would you?
I will. The only way that I get in touch with him now is through Signal.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he said I prefer to text through Signal. So, do you have his Signal?
I can get it. Is it
I
an
don't know if he
app?
can. He said he only if he offers it, he will get. But if he hasn't given it to you, Hallie, I don't know if you can contact him through Signal.
Well, my kids were telling me that, we got to get on WhatsApp, because
What's that?
um, it's a way that you text folks, I guess,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's end-to-end encrypted, and it means that the tech overlords don't read your texts or something, or, the hackers can't release them, because I think that's a big fear now, is that, you'll be talking trash about someone via text, and then the hackers will hack you, expose all your texts, and then the people that you were talking trash about can see what you really think of them. Nobody wants that to happen. So my kids were telling me to get on WhatsApp
Okay.
because texting's not encrypted. And I think encrypted means, like put it in a crypt, where nobody wants to go.
Right.
It's like dark, it's a dungeon. So you want to have like dungeness text threads now, I think.
Well, I think Dungeness is a crab.
Sounds delicious, but, I think of most seafood as just a vehicle for getting hot butter in my mouth. Sometimes I'll squeeze a lemon on there, and I feel good about that
Oh,
because
yeah.
we're supposed to have fruits and veggies in a given day, and what I mostly eat, as you know, is only white food, which is
Well,
like
crab is white.
that's right, and so is butter when you, melt it over something white, it's but anyway, I told my kids not to worry about it because the FBI was suggesting everyone get on an end-to-end encrypted thing. But you know what? It was the FBI that was under the former president,
Oh,
so
yeah,
we
you don't know
can't trust
what
him.
FBI are we even dealing with?
Yep, yep, yep.
I mean, I can't wait to have a good FBI again and not the bad FBI.
I mean, now everything changes. Now, uh, you've got bishops trying to use their platform to, teach girls that, would it kill the bishop to put on a lip? Huh? To
Oh,
just
I
put
mean,
on like maybe even a neutral rose colored lip. I'm sure she's heard of, dye jobs.
well,
Um,
I'm like, first I'm confused because I was like, okay, a bishop, isn't that just a chess thing? And then, you see her, and I'm like, okay, so is she even allowed to be up there? Is she a preach? Is she a preacher? Is she a pastor of some sort?
well, it's already a problem that, it's a church setting,
And and what
obviously.
we're talking about, of course, is
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
is the chess player or whatever that spoke at the inauguration.
that's right. And You know, it's hard because first of all, I guess it's a good example of what happens when you give women too much leadership,
Opportunity.
I mean, that's why, in our church, every single one of our teaching pastors, associate pastors, lead pastors, all of them are men. Because, well, for obvious reasons, um, we what's going to happen if we give a woman the same level of leadership that we give the men? I mean, it's just going to probably be confusing. Um, and honestly, the men need to kind of have like a boys' club so that they're not tempted.
Or just
And
interrupted.
yeah,
I mean, what I mean, even just what a name. It was like Bishop Buddy, and I'm like, okay, buddy, calm down. It's just I hate how people use their faith. Supposedly,
well, she's
she's got a
Catholic,
faith.
so it's
How they
wolves in
use their
sheep's
faith to get
clothing.
political. It doesn't have to be political. Hey, buddy, we invited you to say a little prayer and to say a few things, and then you had to take your 15 minutes of fame. And I hope you're happy. But that isn't the kind of church that we have at Twin Hills, and is not the type of church that Christ would want or build. Look at Steve. Steve doesn't get political. He just says the truth, and then he lets you make up your own mind about what to do when it comes to politics. But politics is such a small part of what it means to be a Christian, especially if you're right about it, which we are, fortunately.
Well, this bishop, Bishop something Elvis Buddy, um, she is a cautionary tale, frankly. And what is it a cautionary tale of? I'll tell you what. When women stop caring about looking nice, and living up to the standard that has been set, and it has been relaxed in my lifetime, women used to vacuum in heels.
Women used to wear a skirt on the plane.
That's right.
You used to dress up to get on a plane because it was special.
I
Now, I saw
just
a lady the other day. I'm sorry, Hallie, but I just have to go off for a second. I mean, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but Clay Mason
Clisme
Bannerman
Bannerman.
and I took a little trip a few weeks ago.
Oh, where'd you go?
We went down to Savannah.
Ooh, how
It
nice.
was awesome. We love Savannah. Just the old stuff and the old, Southern kind of charm and the midnight in the garden of good and evil and the moss and
Ooh.
it's just really great. But
It was
there,
snowing down there, wasn't it?
uh, well, it did snow down there when we were there. Actually, it was kind of raining, oily. I'm not sure what it was, but
Well, it's like flip-flop to the weather. It used to, snow in the northern part of the country, and this year it's snowing on the southern part and not in the northern part. There's not even snow in Michigan or Minnesota right now.
yeah, but that's fine. There's nothing to worry about there. We got on the plane and we like to take Lime Air. It's this great little airline called Lime Air. And they go direct from Indianapolis down to Savannah. And we are Lime Air Diamond members. And a lady got on Lime Air and Hallie, it looked like she just rolled out of bed. Her hair was all akimbo. She had a pair of juicy sweatpants on that were riding halfway down her bum. She was wearing spaghetti top strap thing. She had a kid on one hip and a kid on the other, and got on just looking like an absolute hot mess. And I just looked at Clay and I went, typical. And it just was it was such a bummer because I'm like, she's actually taking down our experience of riding on Lime Air to Savannah.
Ah, yeah.
It's
Right,
just like,
right, right,
put
right, right.
on
Yep, 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 yep.
just think about when you get on an airplane, ladies, and this is some free advice. Think about what you would wear to church. Would you wear that on an airplane?
Oh, wow, that's good advice. And here's what I tell my daughters. And this is what I would tell that bishop too, after I told the bishop that, hey, you don't need to worry about Mary. Women aren't important. Read the Bible. They make up less than 1% of it.
Yeah.
So the Catholics are trying to like give women a part in the story, and they're giving this woman a actual pulpit and all of that. And what I tell my daughters about, just look at the way that bishop presented herself.
Oh, which daughter?
My pipe fitting daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, that bishop has the same haircut as your pipe
I
fitting
had the
daughter.
exact same thought.
I know,
Exact
just
same thought. And I
absolutely.
thought, you know what? Fitter is gonna get into this. And
Is she
so
going by fitter now?
oh, no. I mean, I heard Brandy call her that. So
Okay.
I guess I'm just trying to keep up with the times. But the things that I tell all my daughters is this: the reason you wanna look like a girl, and I think we all know what that looks like, a liquid line on your eye, a pop of red or color on your lips, maybe some contouring on a cheekbone, maybe a jawline, um, you know, uh, a highlight in your hair, a curl in your hair. Would it kill you to iron your hair? You iron your shirts.
Well,
Why can't you iron your hair?
it did
And
look like she ironed her hair in some way, just maybe that the iron was, it looked like she got kind of the hair was run over by a steamroller or something.
although one of my daughters has been going at it too hard with the curling iron, I tell you what, she's got these ringlets on the side of her face that, make me think, she's going to go orthodox or something. She won't even like spread the curls out. She just is curling each. She has so many curls. It honestly, she just needs to soften her look a little bit. But that's my daughter who's walking around in a tutu lately and only walks on tiptoes. But I'm telling all my daughters, you know why you want to look like a woman and, put on a lip, put on a liner, put on a rosy cheek, have long hair, and, wear something that accentuates the fact that you got a waist,
Oh, right.
and things like that. Something that maybe elongates the leg. You know why you want to look like a girl? So that the men who see you in public know to protect you if you're being attacked.
Right.
If
Because like this lady on Lime Air, as far as I could tell, if she was dressed like that, I'm going, if anything happened to you, I wouldn't be sad. And I hate to say that. I mean, I'm saying like not something really bad, but I'm kind of hoping that, in that case, when somebody gets on an airplane looking like that, You almost are going, hey, I hope their terrorist does take somebody hostage. I hope it's her, and I hope he takes her right off the plane.
Well, my kids are telling me, "Well, mom, in that story, the part of that story, if women are supposed to look feminine so that men protect them from, the attacks, of other men, they're like, isn't the problem in this that men are attacking women?" And I'm like,
What?
"Well, no.
Where are men attacking women?
Well, I guess everywhere all the time, but
What?
if you don't look like a woman, then the good guys don't know to fend off the bad guys because they're like, "Hey, this is a defenseless woman." If a girl is walking around looking like Fitter, a guy, if let's say somebody attacks Fitter in the parking lot of a Home Depot because
So are
she
you
can't
calling
get
her fitter
out of
now?
the Home Depot. She's going there 3 times a day. Her and Brandy are like, "We gotta go back and get some lumber." And I'm like, "For what?" But let's say somebody attacks my pipe fitting daughter
Why
in
is
the
she going to
parking lot of a
the
Home Depot.
how many
A
times a
man
day?
walking by isn't gonna know to protect my daughter because he's gonna be like, "I don't know what's going on there. That could be a fisticuffs between 2 fellas."
Right.
But if somebody attacks Brandy, because guess what Brandy does? She has on a liquid line. She has long blonde hair flowing to her waist. She puts on a rosy colored lip.
How many attacks are happening in the Home Depot or parking lot?
This is the same thing my kids say about the bathroom issue. When I say there's got to be a men's and there's got to be a women's, and you can't have people going in the one that they're not assigned to. And my kids say, I don't think, isn't the real problem there that like we're just assuming that like, men are going to attack women in bathrooms?
I don't know who's assuming that. And you know what they say about assuming?
Exactly.
Hallie, the thing is, and I will say, and I think we can't give any more airtime to that bishop, that Catholic lady. I mean, what was going on there anyway? I thought Catholics didn't have lady bishops. Like, is she doing some kind of Mrs. Doubtfire thing or
I
something?
was shocked when
Where
her voice was so feminine because it's
right.
not what you're looking at?
But, what I would like to say is thank goodness we've got a new era in America where the first thing that this administration is doing is saying, hey, before we get to grocery prices, before we get to wars, before we get to the border, before we get to all that, we just have to make sure that everybody knows there are men and there are women. And I just thought that was such an awesome mic drop because that solves a lot of these problems right out of the gate. Because you're just going, hey, just so everyone's clear, there's ladies and there's guys. And so all the problems that we've had can basically solve now.
Wow, yeah. I mean, it makes me wonder, like, why did World War II even happen? Because back then, women were women and men were men.
That's right.
So
And I guess I'm still wondering why she goes to Home Depot 3 times a day. I mean, what are they building back there?
I know. Well, I mean, my daughter has, she put up lattice around
Lattice?
lattice around the base of my house. I wanted some lattice.
You could have had Dick do that, but he's busy because I'm actually having him put some lattice up around uh, on top of the fence. I'm having him do some lattice.
That'll look
Well,
nice.
I'm gonna grow it in with some vines and things because I just don't want I don't want Donovan Geo. When Donovan Geo's on the trampoline, he can get high enough to see over what is now about an 11-foot fence.
You know, will you just tell Dick Epps to text me back? I
Oh,
also
have you been texting him?
and honestly, that's CMB's house. That's Clay's house.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
not your
I
house.
know, but
And
I'm
he's my
helping out.
handyman.
Why are you getting so upset,
Well, I
Hallie?
just want him to text me back. I'll
Yeah.
get on Signal. How do you do it? Do I just go to the app store?
I don't know, Hallie. I don't have time to show you that
Is
right
it
now.
spelled Signal like a signal you use your directional in the car?
Yeah.
Like you turn on your turn signal, SIGNAL?
It's Hallie, he's busy right now and he's just got things to do.
Don't you like how he still rides a motorcycle even in the winter?
I know. And I said the tallest motorcycle rider I've ever
And
seen.
when he gets to your house, does he always have wet hair? He's always fresh out the shower.
Speaking of Dick Epps, he does smell like Home Depot, which I've always thought was interesting because they should come out with a cologne because I think
Fresh
just the
shaved wood.
smell of Home
Mhm.
Depot, it's that just like it's the wood, but it's combined with several of whatever that is, like plastic, chemicals, or something that paint, that stuff does smell really good. And if you stuffed up, it's really good to go to Home Depot to
And
clear
the
you right out.
people who are walking around in orange aprons are so helpful, and I think you can smell that too.
Yeah, they're helpful, but they don't know anything. That's the problem.
Mm,
Is you go
mm,
and they say,
mm,
"Can I
mm,
help you find something?" And
mm.
then you say, "Yes,
Yep.
but what I'm doing is this," and then they don't know anything. So that's why it's so nice to have someone like Dick Epps around, because Dick Epps can go to Home Depot. Or he goes, "I don't need your help, Orange Apron. I know I've got to go." In our case, um, you know. Uh, Basically, the last thing that we were having him do was wrap a bunch of Christmas presents for next year.
Oh,
And
you
so
are ahead.
oh, Hallie, he did them amazing. He can do the edges all perfectly. You know how sometimes if it's a weird box shape, you can't quite get it all to lay flat. Dick Epps did that amazingly. So we've already got the presents wrapped for next year,
Wow,
hiding them in
I
the
am
basement.
impressed. High five on that one. That's good.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I do wanna come to you, with something, in the accountability
Oh,
category,
okay.
Gray, because I know you are a man of God, and, you have accountability buddies who keep you on the straight and narrow, which I know is hard for men because 'cause they're so visual, and 51% of the human population is female, unfortunately, for all those guys who have to keep their minds pure while all these gals are walking around
Except for the
with
lady on Lime Air. Geez, she was a mess. She just looked like she got thrown into a tumble dryer and accidentally with a bunch of dirty clothes.
it is offensive. It's offensive. I remember when you would get dressed up to fly.
That's what I'm saying. They need to dress up again.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, but
I mean, Clay and I dressed up.
what were you wearing?
We were. Do you know those? It's basically it's like a one piece jumper that we when we travel,
That you're
Hallie.
both in a one-piece jumper?
Well, it's not in the same one.
Oh, okay.
But it's one of those, it's just a really great piece of travel gear because the shorts, but they're long sleeve on top and they've got pockets everywhere. So you can always have
Oh,
your passport, your
yep.
different
I
programs, your
love a lot of
pamphlets,
pockets.
everything
Yep,
is in a
yep, yep,
different
yep,
pocket.
yep, yep.
And when they go to pat you down, which they always do, I'm going, yeah, these pockets are all empty, even though there's about 50 of them. So, yeah, it's basically a onesie that is shorts, but also has a lot of pockets. And
Mm,
we have different ones and we have some that are the same.
so smart when you
Yeah.
fly. Love a lot of pockets. I love a lot of pockets. I love an overall for that reason. You got a front, you got a front, you got a mini front, you got a back, you got a back, you got a hook, and then you got the top, chest pocket.
Yeah, I don't like women in overalls. Anyway, what were you saying, Hallie, about accountability?
I need you to hold me accountable, my brother in Christ, because I don't think I'm stumbling in the flesh, but I feel like I'm walking a line. And it's not even necessarily my fault because well, it is my fault. It is my mind, but it's happening at night when I'm sleeping. I've had a couple of dreams. As you know, I was reading Tucci's book about food.
Who, Tucci? Oh, Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, I
I
got
find him
his
to be a
book
bit
for
annoying.
Christmas on my Kindle.
Oh,
And so I've been reading Tucci's book before bed. And I also got it on Audible too, so that if my eyes get tired, then I just switch to the book on tape. And it's Tucci's voice.
oh, is it? Which one is it? Tucci'd by an Angel
Yeah.
hair pasta.
And it's so good. And he narrates it or whatever it's called. He does the voiceover. And he he does all these great scenes between his mom and himself, and he always goes, "Me, do you feel like eating something, mom? Mom, I just ate. Me, well, I'm cooking again, mom. I'm still full. Me, mom, me, mom." He goes back and forth like that, and
Yeah,
I
sounds.
find it to be not at all grating. To me, it's almost comforting, like listening to a window fan when you're trying to go to sleep, and he puts me right to sleep. The problem being then I've had a few dreams about him.
Oh, what's he doing in the dreams?
Well, he's being attentive, he's being sensitive, he's listening, he's asking me about my feelings, he's given me lots of time, he's making eye contact, he doesn't even have a phone in his hands, he's not watching ESPN on his phone, he's not sitting in a lazy boy, he's standing hands-free looking me in the eyeballs.
You'd think he'd be talking about pasta and how it's the best one he's ever had, even though the last one he just had was the best one he ever had.
Well, sometimes he'll be making me, like, a beautiful mocktail. Other times, he'll
What's a mocktail?
oh, it's delicious. It's where you, use a simple syrup, and you can mix it with anything, a ginger ale, a Sprite, a cranberry juice. You can do anything like that. It's just when you mix anything with a simple syrup.
Oh, so you're just putting sugar in other sugar drinks?
Yes, it's so good.
Yeah.
But then you shake it up, you have ice in it, it feels special, it feels artisanal.
Okay.
Any hoodles, in my dreams, Tooch is just making long eye
I wouldn't call
contact
him
with, like,
that,
a
Hallie.
gentle face, he does expressions that feel like appreciation where he's like, he's just
Yeah.
he's asking questions and he's listening, and it just feels so freaking steamy to me, Gray, steamy in like a romance novel kind of way, and I feel like it's a slippery slope. I know
Well,
he's a married man. I don't even know if he's saved. He feels saved because there's a gentleness to him, and that's a fruit of the spirit.
he's married?
He's
I don't
definitely
know who would
married.
be married to him. He just seems a bit annoying.
Well, I just feel like, I don't know. I do my walk through the Bible first thing in the morning, after I'm out of, going over my prayer list in the shower. But maybe I need to transfer some of my walk through the Bible stuff to bedtime so that I start having dreams of
Well,
Jesus.
one of the best books you can read before bed is the Bible.
Well, definitely, especially if it's the Psalms,
Oh, I like,
something calming.
I kind of like some of the battle stuff. I think that's also fun.
Really?
Yeah. I just like, I sometimes with, when it comes to the Bible, I will have the Bible book on tape, which is nice. And I'll just
Ooh.
have playing in my little pillow speaker. That was actually one of the things Dick Epps installed
Oh,
is
wow, a
a
pillow
speaker.
speaker.
Yeah. A speaker
Wow.
that goes under your pillow. And so you can just listen to the Bible all night long. It's great.
Man, that's awesome. Speaking of Bibles, we had drama this week here on campus when, we have a whole Bible ministry, obviously. We have, storage rooms full of Bibles so that we can give people Bibles on the weekends if they're here for services and stuff. Well, some joker, uh, somehow at some point, we don't even know how long this infiltration has been lasting, but somebody dumped a bunch of Pastafarian Bibles into our Bible ministry. And
Pastafarian.
yeah,
That sounds like something Stanley Tucci would do.
I know. I mean, Tucci is just like, oh, he's standing over the stove and he's making me a fettuccine
Okay, Holly,
Alfredo,
don't go
like by
down
hand
you
with
can't
like lots of butter, with lots of
you
salt,
can't go
with
down that
lots of
path.
Parmesan.
I mean, honestly,
Oh,
as your friend and as, obviously your mentor, you've got to stop listening to those books.
well, now I'm worried that somebody is going to, come to pick up a Bible, a free Bible from our Bible ministry, and they're going to accidentally end up with a Pastafarian Bible, which somebody out there obviously thinks is funny or cute, and it's
Right.
none of the above.
I've never even heard of such a thing.
Well, it's basically a religion where, spaghetti is the deity.
Oh,
And I don't know. And I guess everybody's just throwing it at walls and stuff to try to come up with a belief system. I think it's a way of mocking us out
yeah, I don't like that.
because, man, do people like to mock Christians? And it's not fun being one of them, being a part of the most oppressed people group on planet
Well,
Earth.
I was mocked a few times this weekend too,
Oh
Hallie, and it
no.
was really upsetting because I don't like to name names, but two of
Clay
my
Mason
no,
Baltimore.
Hallie, I don't like to name names, but two of my climax teens, which is Der Amazon
Oh, I
and
loved her.
What?
I loved our Amazon.
You do?
Yeah, he's a sweetie.
No, he's not.
He's my paper boy.
He is?
Yeah.
Amazon?
Yeah, he throws my Indianapolis Star, in a little blue plastic bag in the front of my driveway every Sunday.
Well, was
Durr.
but it was very upsetting because we had a lock-in this weekend and
Ooh, fun.
I got locked out.
Oh, no, locked
And
out of a
and it
lock-in?
was so cold this weekend,
Oh,
as we've
dang.
said, and, so I'm saying, "Hey, guys, we need to unlock this door." Of course, my key card just wasn't working. It would turn green, and then,
Uh-oh.
I would try to open the door, and it wouldn't open.
Oh,
And that's
no.
because they stuck a mop handle through the door on the other side, and they were all just running absolutely amok in the gym. You know what I had to do, Allie?
What?
I called Dick Epps.
Oh, did
He
he come?
came over,
Awesome.
he took the entire door off the frame, and then I got to really lay into them, which was great. And, so yeah, if you need a door fixed or a door taken off the hinges, Dick can do that too.
Well, I'm very disappointed in Dur Amazon, and who else did you say it was? Dur and who?
Um, uh, I think it was Amazon and, Pa
Oh, no, I know who you're gonna say.
what?
Are you gonna say Paxil
Paxel
Rodriguez?
Paxel Rodriguez.
Oh, no.
I don't know why I couldn't think of the teen's name. I'm just so sick of teens.
Well, I'm not surprised at all about Paxil because I think Paxil, I mean, already has tattoos as a teen. That's a bad sign.
Yeah.
A neck tattoo on a teen. I mean, get out of here. It's like almost like the new generation doesn't think they're going to be around long. So, you can just do whatever you want, tattoo your face for all we care.
I don't really care about the tattoo thing anymore, Hallie, as long as it's a Christian tattoo, which that one is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it looked like Karl Marx or something to
No,
me.
I think it's supposed to be Jesus.
Oh, really?
Really? I know, definitely not Karl Marx.
Oh.
Anyway, if your name's Paxel, you've already got a struggle ahead of you. My brain fell apart. That's great.
It's almost that our dog just farted so bad that the air in here right now is so foul
Gotta call Dick Epps.
that I gotta call Dick Epps first. And second, like I got to the point where I was like, I can't talk. It stinks too bad in here right now. Were
Yeah.
you picking it up? Jeez, sister.
Sister.
Gracious. Her ass is right under me too.
That was so fun, y'all.
is
Thanks
better
for
than
joining
sweat.
us on a mega mini. Sorry for the weird camera angle today, but at least you could hear us. This stupid boom arm. Hey, thanks for our friends from around the world joining us. France, China, can you even believe it? So great. This will come out in a couple weeks, and hope everyone has a great and a safe Sunday. Keep an eye out for all the cool stuff that we're up to starting in mid-Feb. We'll have lots of announcements about how we're shaking it up over here. And Canada, thanks, Canada. Of course, thanks for everybody in the US of A as well. We're thinking about you. Keep the faith. And by the faith, I mean whatever you want to believe in.
I really honestly want Canada to adopt us. Like that Canadian, what I don't know what she was in the government, but she was saying we'll take
California,
Washington,
Oregon.
Oregon, and California if we could just become provinces, like coming down from
What is that though?
Vancouver.
What does that even mean?
That we could secede from the union and become part of Canada. I want that so bad because I want some fucking health care.
But I don't think that's gonna happen, babe. I think we got to think of some other options.
But I don't want us to be a part of the United States anymore.
Okay, well, this just became secessionist radio, and we'll we love y'all. Let's see. Oh yeah, did we? Oh, sorry, there's no bingo. We didn't throw it in there. That was my bad. I missed that. But yeah, if anybody wants a sticker, you can always join the Discord, and I'll send you one. And this has been a live stream. I think we're back week. If you want the schedule, I'll try to keep the YouTube schedule updated in YouTube, but also in Discord. So I'll let you know when we're back, and of course on Patreon. Moto, welcome. You'll have to do a little watch back. Thanks, everybody.
Moto, Mao Tao. I always say Mao Tao. Hi, Mao Tao.
We'll
Hey,
see.
thanks everybody. Thanks for being here, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. And I hope that I've been thinking about our friend Joel Hansen, who does some music for Mega, because he's from that band Pray for Rain, PFR, and he's so sweet and so incredible. And all week long, I've been saying, pray for rain, 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 pray for rain. And it's here. It rained. And
Finally
so
rained.
we're really happy. And so I'm sending a little bit of my hope vibrations out to you and love. We love you. Thank you for being here. Hang in there. And are we doing it next week? Will we see you next week?
I don't.
Wait,
actually, I
what's
can't
the-
tell you. I can tell you.
Hold on. Let me look at my thing.
No, I'll be in San Francisco.
Oh, dang.
Doing a show. But yeah, we'll be back maybe the following week, which will be Holly's birthday. Will we do this on your birthday?
Oh, February 9th? Yeah, I would do it on my birthday.
Okay, we'll be back on February 9th.
And they can watch your
No, they can't.
Like Minds, can't they?
No.
Man.
Oh, if there is an organization that you feel like throwing a couple bucks at,
yeah.
Letters from Altadena is part of the Letters to Santa
Letters Charity.
Letters Charity, which was started by friends of ours in Chicago. They're doing direct aid to families in Altadena.
It's a trustworthy organization.
Great
they
organization.
Get money to the people.
And it's basically, sorry, I keep doing this. It's basically if families need anything, they can write straight to Letters, and they will help them get those things. So that is a good organization that I'll shout out on this Letters Charity. And you can go to letterscharity.org, I believe, is the suggestion. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much. We love you.
Let's open a window in here.
Oh, I know. I think she just did it again.
See you, everybody. Bye.
Look how cute she looks, though. She's sleeping so sweetly.